Hi, I'm Jeff Ajik. I'm the owner and founder of Action Continuous Improvement and Continuous Improvement Central. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the just-in-time improvement project. It is one of 4 basic project types. I do have another video on that if you want to see how all 4 of those fit together. But for now, I just want to talk to you about this basic concept of the just-in-time improvement. So what it basically is an employee can just go and make changes on their own. And that's kind of a novel concept if you're not familiar with continuous improvement organizations, because most people don't feel like they have that sort of autonomy. So we're not talking about major changes. We're talking about ordering additional tools. If you need a second pair of pliers at a different location, you're walking back and forth. We want people to be able to recognize that those are problems and then make quick changes. You know, if you have a tool bin, you can go grab another tool from there and create a second location and label it and make sure that tool has a home. If people are properly trained on the core principles of continuous improvement like 5S and standard work and Poka-yoke and all these other different tools, then when they make a change, it kind of fits better into the overall architecture of your system. So the idea is you got to make sure people are trained up to do this, make sure that they feel confident that they're not going to get in trouble if they make a mistake. But then what happens is you unlock this additional mental resource of all these people who are doing the jobs every day. And once you train them what to look for and how to make quick changes, you start seeing these little improvements every single day. And it doesn't sound like much to save 2 or 3 seconds on walking over if they get a second garbage can or something like that. Or if they, some of these improvements are going to be much better than that. But, that's the most common ones that you'll see is getting additional tools to prevent walking. That's like the first thing that comes to mind when people start doing this. And then they figure out how to do better things. They'll figure out a better fixture for holding something and go to tooling and get a design. And, those things take a little longer, but it's still a just do it type of improvement. So generally what happens in this is you'll have one person just taking a couple of minutes, maybe a couple hours if it's going to be a little fabrication. They need to go to a little work area. Good continuous improvement organizations will have a small shop set up that people can go to and work on projects like this. The impact's not going to be great, but over time, with hundreds of people making thousands of improvements a year, collectively, this can be one of your biggest sources of improvement if you get your team trained up. The risk is pretty low because these are all small changes that can go back very easily if something's wrong. And the training to do it is minimal, but we do want to make sure that we don't confuse that with none. So you're not training people how to become project leaders or how to manage detailed forms or how to do real sophisticated root cause analysis. And while they should be able to do some of those things, on this project, a lot of it is trial and error. They know something's broken, they try something that's going to work a little bit better, and then they make the change. Now, this is best suited when there is an obvious fix, of course, or it's low risk. So there's a couple other things here. But how do you use it? How do you use it? Well, when you see a problem, you just make a quick change on it, and then you check and see if it gets better. And if it doesn't, you go back to the old way or you try something different. And if it does, you share the idea with other people. So many of these ideas that people come up with are things that are going to be helpful throughout the organization. So when do you not want to use it? You want to avoid using it if there's multiple departments involved, because you don't want to make a quick change on something that could affect a different group in ways that you don't imagine. So sometimes, the way you put parts into a box may be easier for you to do one way, but it makes it much harder on the other end. So we're talking about the global optimization versus local. So if you save 5 seconds but cost somebody else 30 seconds, that's not a good improvement for the company. So you want to make sure that you keep that in mind if there is multiple. And if it does get to be more complicated where you're talking root causes, you probably don't want to be doing this as a pure just do it type of project. You want to start getting a little bit more into the analysis and maybe use a countermeasure sheet or maybe get a little bit more sophisticated if it's bigger. And if you have to spend a lot of money on it, you don't want to use this, because generally if you're spending a lot of money, it's a more detailed, more sophisticated problem. And we don't want to go to becoming catalog engineers where you just reach for the solution in some kind of website where you order something. So before I move forward, I do want to ask you for likes and subscribes, because the likes help me out a lot. It lets me know what videos are appealing to you and which ones I should keep making. It lets me know whether or not this is a good endeavor. I have this basically, if you look at the whole thing here, this is part of a poster, as you can tell, And this is part of my passive learning series. So the idea is you take these posters and you put them in your organization and, appropriate places. So if you're going to run projects in an area, if you have some area that you know that you're rolling out continuous improvement and people are starting to do more, you can put these project types up on the wall, in main thoroughfares, by the cafeteria. And, some of them are focused on stuff that deals with daily management. You put those by your production boards. So there's a lot of ways you can put these in optimal spaces to get people to look at them. And what you're trying to do is create engagement and a little bit of knowledge that gets people more interested in learning additional things, or start to be, in this case, they say, wait, I can do projects on my own. Let me try that. Let me go talk to my supervisor about this. So the idea is you want to create interest and engagement by using these passive learning tools. So with that in mind, the website's down below. So just take a look at that. And let's just finish off this here real quick. And where am I? So, where does it fit in? Like I said, there's 4 different ones here. They get more complex along the way. And how do you know that it's working? Well, you start to see the impact of it. You start to see a steady flow of projects, and they start adding up to the big results. And people start to have a better feel of ownership because they're able to make changes on their own. And that's one of the big things you want to get in a continuous improvement organization. You want people to feel empowered. If they feel like improvement is a risk, they're not going to make changes. If they feel like they don't have the skills to do it, they're not going to make changes. So do good training and get your leadership okay with failure, because failure is a natural part of success. That you're not going to get it right every single time, all the time. And, if you're batting about 70%, that's kind of my target, because if you're hitting all of your targets, not all your targets, but if every project is a success, then you're only taking on the really easy things. You're not taking on more challenging projects. If you get lower than 70%, you're probably not putting enough thought into it. So I'll stop there. Again, this is the passive learning posters. Take a look at them. I got 85 right now. I got about 25 more waiting to get posted, and about 150 in a queue. So there's a lot of them, and I'm trying to do videos for all of them. So take a look. Have a good day.